welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside head coach Daron Schoenrock. And coach, getting ready for a busy weekend down in Houston with the Cougars to continue conference play. Let's go back to last week where you split 4 home games in the 4-game homestand, and we'll start it off with the midweek game against Murray State. And it was an interesting game. It was one of those midweek games you've got to kind of grind through. Didn't look good early, down 7-2, but boy, tip the cap to your ball club. They stuck with it, chipped away, had a big 5-run inning, and came back and beat the Thoroughbreds 12-8.
Well, Colin didn't get off to a great start, and we just didn't throw enough strikes early to get the game under control. But one of the things I've stressed with this team is the veteran presence of the lineup showed up that night where there wasn't a lot of panic. They just said, hey, we just got to grind out at bats and get this done, and they did. And that's we did that a lot in the early stretch, and I think the confidence that we played with was the key in that game. We put enough good at bats together to score runs. It's tough coming from behind, but this team is capable of doing it.
Very, very interesting because you get the feeling up in the press box and probably in the stands too. You can just kind of get a feeling for a game. And down 7-2 in the top of the third, it just did not seem like it was a 7-2 ball game. It seemed like we're right into this thing.
Yeah, because we gave so much away in the early part of that game for Murray to score the runs. It wasn't like they were coming out and just pounding the ball all over the place. And you gave up an early home run, but a lot of it was just freebies. And then we talked about just eliminating the freebies, clean up the defensive end, give our offense a chance to get on track, and then it happened. It happened late. This club's been able to put some runs on the board in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. The second time through the lineup against the starting pitching. That's been where we've been doing a lot of our damage.
Coach, over the weekend you faced Temple, lost 2 out of 3 to the Owls to open up conference play. It's a tough year for Temple. It's the last year of baseball. They threw one of their best guys, obviously, Friday night. Matt Hockenberry went 7 2/3. And this weekend, as you talked about on the postgame Sunday, really kind of emphasized how important defense is in college baseball since we've gone to the new bats, and the games pretty much across the board are a lot less scoring, especially on the Sunday ball game is where they got 3 of their 4 runs were on.
Yeah, and I felt Sunday they made a change in there. They started their closer, so it'd be like us going into Sunday and not using Beeler and starting him. So they started one of their guys that has been their shutdown guy, and it just so happened that they got a couple runs on the board early to take a lead with their shutdown guy on the mound, and offensively, he stifled us. We didn't have very many good at bats early, so the feeling in the dugout was exactly opposite as it was against Murray. There was kind of like oh no, what are we going to do? And I would talk to the team a little bit about keeping that mindset of just like Murray State. Hey, we're okay. Let's just grind some ABs out. And you saw us make a run there late in spite of the 2 plays we didn't make for them to score their 3 runs early. That we made a run that could have tied the game. But to Temple's credit, they tacked on a run off of Bryce, off of a freebie, and that run turned out huge. And then we had an opportunity. The other thing is getting guys in from third. The team's been really good at that this year. We failed a couple times in the middle part of that game to score just one that would have made a difference late.
The Saturday, your offense blew up a 13-7 win over the Owls, and we talked a couple times on the postgame too. It's more frustrating, I think, the way the game's unfolded because it wasn't like there were high strikeout numbers. You hit the ball hard, but as you said, they made the play. Sometimes that can be more frustrating rather than just having a pitcher kind of carve you up.
Yeah, I was really proud of what we did offensively Saturday. Obviously, facing a very good guy on Friday night, which we're going to face a lot of those guys in this league, and then sometimes those guys are so good that they kind of beat you up half the day Saturday too. Our offense came out and attacked the strike zone. Did a great job in the strike zone, able to get the lead, get some guys some work. They scored a few off of our bullpen, but we held on late. And first American Athletic Conference win, first win in the league that we think is going to be a very good baseball league. We're getting ready to face some very tough challenges coming up.
Well, you took a look at the league over the weekend. There was only 1 sweep in the American, and I believe there's something like 5 of the 9 teams in the top 100 of the RPI. So this is going to be a very competitive league.
Very competitive, and this team, we have done okay on the road. We've been a pretty good road team. Just so happens we're facing what we feel like are 2 of the best teams in the league on the road in back-to-back weekends at a time when we're not playing our best baseball. So trying to get back to that good mojo, get that good feeling back in our dugout. It's going to take a couple little things, maybe scoring first, to throw up the first shutdown inning and let things get rolling.
You talk about playing down at Houston. It'll be a little bit of a new look to Cougar Field. They've added the field turf. We played on it once this year up at Belmont. Your veterans have played on it at Tulane before. You're going to see another field turf surface in Cincinnati later in the year. But it'll be a little bit of a different feel down at Cougar Field this year, and not just because of the surface. We knew, I guess it was 2012, Todd Whitting's first year, when they made a little run his first season. Took a step back, as most programs do, kind of the second year of a new regime. But you could tell with the teams he had early on, they were going to get back to what the Houston program used to be, and they're back with a vengeance this year.
They're very athletic, Jeff. They've got a lot of guys in the lineup back from last year. They played a lot of young guys and made a good run last year. They're getting into that. They're getting the talent-rich Houston area covered recruiting. So they're the guys that they were losing to Rice in years past. Now they're getting those guys, and very good area to recruit, obviously. And adding the field turf, talking with Todd, they were able to get outside even in cool temperatures they had, and they had a very rainy winter. They were able to get outside an awful lot. So that surface not only helps you on game day, but it helps you in off-season and preseason work as far as getting your team on the field a lot. So they came out of the gates real strong, have played a real tough schedule, and have held their own. And I think they're, obviously nationally ranked and very high in the RPI. But I don't think it's going to phase our guys. We'll battle. We've played good teams on the road early, and I'm anxious to see how our guys respond. You're
in a unique position this year, the way the schedule falls, and the rotation's going to be different every year and how the schedule falls. Houston's going to be one of 3 conference opponents you face. They'll be coming off their conference bye week. Now, obviously, they played a very tough team in College of Charleston last week, but just kind of one of those scheduling works.
It is, and coming off a bye week is sometimes good and bad. Sometimes you do things to rest some of your weekend rotation where you don't go as long outings with those guys. They'll have a little anticipation of, hey, it's our first league game, so a little different feeling in their dugout. But the schedule's it's kicked into a computer and spit out, and it is what it is. We got to line up and go play, and that's just part of playing in a great league.
You look at Houston, and the first thing you look at is their pitching. I kind of looked at their numbers last night, and what it overshadows is they've got a pretty good offense as well.
Pretty good offense. They got 3 guys that really run the bases, and you've got to keep off base. They got 3 table setters that they spread around different parts of the lineup. The middle, the RBI guys are all guys that have played since their freshman year, and they're in their junior year now. So in Todd's first year there, they were guys that he inserted that just said, hey, we're going to, kind of like we did with Tucker.
Right.
Hey, we're going to insert you in there and let you grind it out as a freshman. This is the role you were recruited to do, and now he's in the junior year doing it.
Probably more familiar. It's kind of like you did with Zerker and Jacob Wilson and that group back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, and this team, with Carter White having played a lot, obviously with Ethan, Zach Willis has been in and out of the lineup, for all 3-4 years. Tucker, it's time for these guys to really step up and grab moments now, and this is the time to do it. We do have, this team here now has about 13 guys that are playing, which is a strength, and we're, instead of treating that as a weakness where you get guys out, now we're able to kind of rest guys and get more guys going. You've seen some of our freshmen pop in there, and Chris Carrier and Zach Schrettenthal are getting some at-bats, and of course Darren's been in there since day one, but it's a unique blend that we really like our freshman class, but the ebbs and flows of the season, our senior lineup guys have to come through.
Then, Coach, next week, I know you're looking a little in advance, but the midweek games, you go up to Middle Tennessee.
Good series, very historic series, and that's one series we've elected to keep as a rotating home and road on a yearly basis, right. And because of the distance and the travel, it just so happens to fall this year. We'll go straight from Middle Tennessee up to Louisville, so it'll be another tough week on the road for our guys. But programs that both recruit a lot. They recruit a lot in the Memphis area. We're trying to recruit a lot in the Middle Tennessee area, so a lot of familiarity with the lineups and the rosters.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. We'll see you down in Houston this weekend.
Thanks, Jeff.
Head Coach Daron Schoenrock, I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.